Hello dear students, good morning to all of you. In today's class, we will learn about the differences between delegation of authority and decentralization. Because as we have discussed the terms of decentralization and delegation, and especially the meaning and definition of delegation and decentralization, some of you may be confused regarding the terms of delegation and decentralization, and you may be thinking about delegation and decentralization both are same, but there is a difference, as I have already discussed the term regarding delegation and decentralization, that these are different from each other. So dear students, today we will learn about the differences between delegation and decentralization. Hello dear students, good morning. So let us discuss about the differences between delegation and decentralization. So first of all, on the basis of nature, we find that delegation is a compulsory act because each and every organization cannot complete or cannot achieve the task without the help of the other subordinates. So delegation is required because whenever responsibility is being transferred to anyone, then that time some authority must be given to that particular subordinate for completion of the responsibility. So delegation is mandatory, but in the case of decentralization, it is optional. Organization can decentralize the power or authority or not. It is completely dependent on the decision of top level management. And next up, here you can see that second is freedom of action. In delegation of authority, the people are bound, subordinates are bound to complete the task within the stipulated time period and as per the norms or the criteria given or prescribed by the top level management. Authority is given, but they are not free to take the decision regarding control or regarding control of the business, or they cannot take decision without the permission of the superior regarding any specific work. So freedom is bound there, freedom is limited, but in the case of decentralization, if the given power, employees are being given power by the top level management, then they are getting a kind of freedom for their action and they are free to take decisions and control over the managerial activities so that the organization can achieve the target or the goal of the business in ease and comfort way. Next base of difference is status. So on the basis of status, delegation of authority is the process of sharing task and authority. It means it is created due to sharing the task. If there is no task, there is no authority is going to be delegated to any of the subordinate. And in the case of decentralization, it is the result of policy decision taken by the top level management. It means only policy making and decision related to growth and development of the business is in the hand of top level management, and rests are in the hand of other level of management. And if we are talking about the scope, so delegation of authority has a limited scope, or we can say that it has a narrow scope. Means since it is confined to a superior and his immediate and subordinate, therefore scope is very limited, not broader. But in the case of decentralization, it is a kind of extension of delegation of authority, and the area of the decision or area of the work is too much wider in context of delegation of authority. Next is purpose. Delegation of authority is meant for reducing the burden of the manager, whereas decentralization is meant for increasing the role of the lower level of management and decreasing the autonomy of the top level management in all the areas. So it is for the purpose to increase the role of autonomy in all the field and all level of management in case of decentralization. So dear students, now I think you are clear regarding the doubts of decentralization and delegation. Now I think you should not have any kind of doubts regarding delegation and decentralization. Now, as we have studied in the previous class, that is decentralization and centralization. So first of all, today we will also make the doubts clear regarding centralization and decentralization of authority. So dear students, while we were studying centralization and decentralization and the importance of decentralization, so we will make clear regarding the centralization and decentralization terms. So first is on the basis of definition. In the case of decentralization, it is decision making capability delegated across multiple levels. It means top level, middle level and all level of managements have the power to take the decision. So the capability is delegated. But in the case of centralization, decision making capability is rests only in few hands of the top level management. Next is flow of information. In case of decentralization, flow of information is free or open for all. But in case of centralization, it is flowed in the case of order as in the vertical form to downwards. Next is ideal for. So decentralization is always ideal for large size of organization, because in large size of organization only top level management cannot decide each and everything, but they need the help of middle level or lower level management too. So it is suitable for large level or large size organization. But in the case of centralization, it is ideal for a small size of organization. It means if the organization is small or very less capital organization is there, then the controlling can be made by a small organization through few hands. Next is regarding decision making speed. As in the case of decentralization, so many minds are exhausted in the particular work. That's why significantly it will take the decision fastly. But in the case of centralization, since the hands are limited, minds are limited, that's why they have to think a lot on one term, and then they will come to any decision. So comparatively, in the case of centralization, the decision making process or decision making speed will be slower than in context of decentralization. Next is people involved. So in the case of decentralization, a higher number of people from each level are involved in the decision making process. It means since it involves all level of management, that's why the number of people involved in decentralization will be higher in context of centralization of the authority. But in the case of centralization of authority, only few handpicked people are involved in the decision making process, and that's why only few small or a small level of, or we can say that only few people are required for functioning of the business or making decision of the business. Next is employee motivation. Highly motivated employees are there in the case of decentralization because they are going to take decision for growth and development of the business. But in the case of decentralization, employees are demotivated because all the rights and powers are under the hand of under few hands, and they cannot take decision. Employees cannot contribute in decision making. That's why they are always demotivated. But in the case of decentralization, employees are motivated. Next is conflict in decision making. In the case of decentralization, most of the time conflict arises because, as we know, it is clearly stated in the terms of economics. If there is 6 economists, the 7 matters or 7 decision can be taken. So each and every people will take, or each and every people will use their own mind, and due to using their own mind, it may create a kind of conflict regarding taking the decision. Each and every people will think that their own decision is correct or right, so they will emphasis on this, and due to this term, it will be the cause of conflict in the organization. But in the case of decentralization, since it is limited in few hands, that's why there is no chance for conflict in decision. Next is burden. So dear students, regarding burden, the burden gets shared among many level, but in the case of centralization, burdens are always carried by top level management regarding taking the decision and control over the business. Now next is stability. So decentralization prone to instability due to multiple conflicting decisions, and due to multiple conflicting decisions, it is unstable. But in the case of centralization, it is relatively stable because decision making rights are in few hands, and there is only few or less chances to be conflicted regarding the decisions they have taken. So centralization of power have a common ideology regarding taking decision without any kind of conflict, and the decision is stable. So dear students, now I think today you have learned about decentralization and centralization. It means difference between centralization and decentralization, and difference between delegation and decentralization too. Now I think there should not be any kind of doubt related to these terms. Thank you.